This podcast was brought to you by Uncle Geeb Productions. Hey guys, and welcome everyone to the Geeb Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Geeb, and with me is Host Media Gaming. We record this podcast live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, or anywhere you can find a podcast. You can also become a member of this podcast with the links down below. You get extra podcast content every single month. Drip, how are you doing this evening? We got some Zelda stuff to talk about tonight. That's very, very exciting. Also, there's a new Nintendo patent that dropped that makes it look an awful lot like a 3DS. Are we getting a 3DS 2? Maybe? I don't know.
We're getting the 4DS.
It's actually the 4DS. It's blowing my mind.
I do believe I got a leak from our guy who's got the uncle's friend's cousin who's a janitor at Nintendo.
That's right. Yes.
So yeah, no big deal. I got the inside scoop on that. We'll talk about it. We'll get there.
Good.
We'll get there. But I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Zelda. We get to talk about Zelda. We get to talk about the thing I love to talk about, which I don't know if we're gonna be talking all that great about it, but we get to talk about it, so that's cool.
Yeah, because
I got new tires. New tires.
I know you didn't actually buy them either. They're free, correct?
They were free.
You're actually getting paid to use those tires.
I am. Yeah.
Can you have them send me tires? I literally need tires right now.
I needed them, so I'm telling you, I was literally on like NASCAR style racing slicks, dude.
I told you I was crashed into a river with my car because I need tires.
Dude,
so
I'm telling you, like the other day, it was raining here. I was supposed to go pick the kids up. I called my mom. I'm like, listen, I'm dropping my car off at your house, there's no way I'm driving my kids 2 hours in this death trap on the interstate when it's raining. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
They were that bad.
For sure. Well, I'm sure mine are not too far behind yours. So see if you can get them free tires in my way. That'd be great.
Yeah. Hey, guys, just check out TireAgent.com. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. We have a sponsor today, actually.
Not a sponsor.
Not them.
But
we'll get to Binbok.
Check them out. They're great. They're great.
But yeah, Drip, man. What are you drinking this week for the beer of the week that we've already discussed in the pre-show?
Well, I have a beautiful I guess it's just a little ode to summer, since we're into the cold weather. Halloween is past. We're into the fall season officially.
Some people would argue that Halloween never happened, Drip.
It didn't happen. It's not a real thing.
Go fuck yourself.
I'm just remembering summer with a little icy light mango. IC stands for Iron City. This stuff's brewed in Pittsburgh.
I see, like I'm looking at mango.
Yeah, I see mango. Yes, that's what I got. It's good. It's very light beer. 95 calories per 12 ounces. 3.8% alcohol. So you can drink about 100 of them.
Wow.
What do you got?
I have something that's the last one of the bunch. Remember a few weeks back, I purchased a big old fat pack of
the Angry
Orchards.
Yes.
This is just the last one. This is the regular old crisp apple Angry Orchard. So refreshing, so beautiful. 180 calories for 12 ounces, so twice the calories of yours.
Yeah.
So that's not great. I'm gonna get fat.
I'm drinking responsibly, Geeb.
I'm trying to find the 5%. So I'm just bigger and better than you tonight.
You are bigger and better all around. Yeah, you are.
I love me some Angry Orchard. I always say to people, if you ever see Angry Orchard on tap, you get that. You get it. Angry Orchard on tap is a life-changing experience. It's
remember I used to
freaking
tell
good,
you,
man.
When you first started drinking this on the podcast, I was telling you about Woodchuck.
Yeah.
In Fairmont, there used to be this place. It's still there. It's way different now, but it's called the College Lunch. I believe they had Woodchuck on tap, but it's like you said, like unreal. Yeah. So good.
It's just take the refreshingness to an all level, like all new level.
It's a great way to just drink way too much, way too fast, and then get a bellyache and a huge headache the next day.
That's right.
Perfect for all
Speaking of giving people a headache, this Switch 2 stuff is getting on my last nerve. Getting on my freaking last nerve. I want to stop talking about it. But you know what? We kind of have to talk about it because of the lack of Nintendo news, but also because we're a Nintendo podcast. We got to talk about Nintendo. Unless we shift gears entirely. All we have to go on is the Zelda stuff we'll get to in a minute, but also the Switch 2. New patents dropped from Nintendo, if you didn't hear, beautiful folk out there. Nintendo publicly put out some patents, and it's very, very interesting. They basically looks like a 3DS or a 2DS XL, but the big main difference is that the outer shell where on the like 2DS, 3DS, if you imagine when you close the clamshell, there's no screen on that side. Obviously, that's like just the outside. But on this,
that's usually where the Hylian shield's at, right?
Right. Yeah. Unless you sold it. But on this version, there's a screen. There's a screen on it. So basically, looking at 3 screens.
You could just put a Hylian shield on the screen as like a background,
like a wallpaper, but it's not like you can't.
Oh, but it's also Nintendo, and they won't give us wallpaper. So there's that as well.
Oh no!
So never mind, we can't do that. It's a good thought, though. That'd be fun if we could.
It's a great thought. But yeah, so these patents are interesting looking. Drip. Kind of, what are your first thoughts? Kind of looking at these. Patents?
Do you have them up on screen? I can't see.
About to.
Okay. Yeah. Well, when you showed me this earlier, because I saw Kevin Kenson put a video out today.
That's right.
But I didn't watch the video. All I saw was the thumbnail, and I was like, "Are we really doing this dual screen? Like, why are we talking about this?" I didn't realize that this is why. Initially, yeah, you see this right here. It looks like a 2DS. It looks exactly like the 2DS that I had. The fact that it comes apart,
yes,
is interesting.
Didn't even mention that. So it splits in 2, as the article says.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you already mentioned that. It's got another screen on the other side, and it splits in 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you remember the thing we were talking about? We've been talking about the Switch 2 having another way to switch.
Yes.
Like, what if this is real? What if this is real and this is actually the way? I mean, it's probably not.
Well,
let's be honest.
Let's be clear here, because their wording is confusing me. This is a real patent. Let's not get that confused.
But this isn't the Switch 2.
Right. Well, we have no idea what this is. This is just a Nintendo patent. So I think people are saying that this is a Switch 2. They're just speculating, right? I'm not speculating. I'm just, the Nintendo put out a patent, and now we speculate on the patent. I don't know if this is the Switch 2. I really don't think it is. If anything,
it's not. There's absolutely no way.
I think this is an awesome accessory, possibly. Or hey, have you thought about this, Drip? Because this is something I thought about pretty quickly after seeing this patent. Have you thought about the thought that this is Nintendo getting back into handhelds only, and this is the Switch? This is the whatever they're going to call it, the Switch something, right? And it's this is the handheld version of the Switch. This is the replacement of the Switch Lite and the Switch 2 Pro, or whatever they're going to call it, right? Switch 2 Super Switch. That's going to be the Switch that we know today, that we know and love, the regular tablet that docks. This is going to be the Switch that switches in a different way, like the screen comes off. And it switches like that. Like that's how they keep the Switch gimmick while still restricting it to being handheld only.
Now, here's what would be very interesting, actually. And let's say it is something like that. But this, with all these screens and all this stuff, if this is a real thing, like, to utilize that, you need to be doing other things that the Switch isn't doing right now, and with your software development. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what if this, and obviously this is all just, we're just having fun talking about this. This probably isn't real, but like, what if this is where we see, we saw handheld and console come together. What if something like this is where we see them kind of split back apart? I mean, we do have something that is a little bit more powerful. Like, it has good screens, not like the 3DS, crappy screens, but completely different games being developed for this. But it is, you're right, in that Switch family.
Yeah.
But it's its own thing. And then the developers for this go on to their own thing, and then the Switch becomes more powerful and starts to focus a little bit more maybe on power instead of all as much versatility.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I hear what you're saying. I'm not a fan of that idea. I don't think that they should merge outward again. I think they should keep the handheld division and the console division in the same division. You keep it all in-house, keep it on one console. Because the main reason, while this device kind of has promise, is kind of cool if it's a handheld only and is less power than whatever the home console would be. I think that's Nintendo going backwards, because think about all the problems we used to have with like mobile games, like mobile versions of games on handhelds, like 3DS, all the like the 3DS Minecraft and 3DS this, 3DS that, like the 3DS version of the games, PS Vita versions of games that weren't, all those problems we had back in that time where the games were different, the same game but in different, that was not good for gaming. I think that the merger of handheld coming in and the console being blended together is the future.
You're right.
Regressing.
Maybe. because you have to remember how far we've come in mobile technology since then too. Like the Switch now is 2050. You could put a lower powered thing out with some different screens that did some fun stuff. Maybe make it marketed a little bit toward, you know what I mean? Like a smaller handheld. Like the 3DS was kind of marketed a little bit more towards younger kids. I mean, adults had it, but let's be honest. Who can hold a 3DS comfortably as an adult? Not many people.
Not me.
Not many people. It hurts. Those are marketed for kids. Clearly, the size, so something like this wouldn't have to go that far back. You know what I mean? It could still be, you know, it could look like it doesn't even need as much power as the Switch. Especially if they're developing specific games for that, not worried about big third-party games coming to it. Those are coming to the new Switch. So it could be something like that. As long, I feel what you're saying, though. I don't want to see it happen. But if it did, I think they could do it in a way where it's not taking anything away from what Nintendo's doing over here. It's just another extra thing. And their big gimmicky thing, and they can maybe make the Switch not so gimmicky. Maybe push that a little more straightforward.
So basically, it's their fill, Nintendo's fill, gimmick fill.
Yeah.
They get their giggles out of having all their gimmicks in one device, and that's the gimmick device.
And then the real thing,
and like for all the serious people out there who are not children, are like, okay, I'll just buy this
that's a good idea, honestly.
Yeah, but but you know what's a better idea? The Switch Lite. It's a much better idea. There's no gimmicks, which is great for everybody. And it has the full power of the regular console, but in a smaller, limited form factor that is more affordable. And that's a much better idea than a 3DS redo.
I mean,
as cool as dual screens can be, listen, Drip. Listen, this
triple screens.
Think about this for a second. Sorry, triple screens. Think about this. My great idea, my wonderful Geeb's wonderful Switch 2 Pro U Deluxe idea.
Oh, yeah. The Pro U Deluxe, yes.
Like the whole thing, well, but all seriousness, the whole thing where like my idea is that the Switch tablet works in continuity with a dock that has a brain in it. So there's basically two consoles in one, like a Wii U, for example. You know what I mean? My whole idea, right, can come to fruition if this is the Switch Lite version of the Switch 2, right? So it has the dual screen. So because you can't dock this Switch, the Switch Lite 2, we're gonna call it.
Yeah,
right?
but this could still do it.
This could still do it because there's three screens actually on the thing. So that is a very interesting.
But then you could
concept.
play it. Oh, it'd be very interesting.
So that's the Switch Lite 2, and my idea that I've had all along for these past few months. That's the Switch Pro or Switch 2.
What's the point of the screen on the?
I don't know. It could just be a thing where they need to fill the patent and they're trying to make it so people can't do what they want. So like, hey, we're also going to put another screen on it.
Yeah, it could be nothing. It could literally be nothing. I mean, there's a pile of Nintendo. We did that. We did a podcast.
We did a whole podcast.
A pile of Nintendo patents that have never seen the light of day.
Yeah.
So this could be that. It's still. I mean, it looks really. I mean, it's interesting. The fact that there's a screen on the outside is very interesting. Like I said, coolest thing that would be is backgrounds and stuff that you could put on there and then make your console look whatever way you wanted to. But, you know, right now Nintendo says no to that. We don't get those. So it would just be a blank screen.
Yeah. Well, Drip, is that all we got to say? I think that was the quickest segment we've ever done.
I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. We don't know anything about it.
No, we don't.
I mean, it's cool looking. It is cool looking.
It is. We'll see what happens. I mean, again, if you haven't checked out the episode where I did all of my whole grand master plan idea of what the Switch 2 could be, basically the Wii U 2, but in such a better implementation, check that. I'll make sure to link that video down below. Guys, this episode of Drippin' G Podcast is sponsored by Binbok. Binbok was founded in 2019 by 3 college friends in China, where they remain today developing new ideas for the gaming industry. Drip, I know that you have a ton of experience with Binbok. I also know that you have firsthand experience with many of their products and even have had direct input and feedback on some of their products.
Yeah, actually, I talked about that in today's video with all my controllers. I had a lot of input into this actual controller right here. My ideas were heard in this controller, and it's very good. I love it. It's basically their answer to whatever pro controller you need. It's got literally everything and more. It's got extra buttons on the top, 3 trigger buttons on the top. 2 of them are programmable, and they're like hair triggers. So if you're playing a shooter, you can move those big ones over and have the hair triggers. It's great. The rumble's amazing. It's got its own type of motion control. I've never seen anything like it. It's amazing. These controllers, this one especially, this is one of the best controllers you can get for the Nintendo Switch right now. And it's, you know, it's crazy because as you said, I've had a lot of experience with them. I was reviewing their stuff from the beginning. I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
They work on their products. They take feedback. They're a good company at this point, and they're putting out a bunch of awesome stuff. They actually have another controller that's going to be here very soon that I'm very interested in. I can't remember the name of it, but it looks very cool. It looks very cool. It's got a bunch of open areas where you can see into the rumble motors and stuff, and like it's wild. It looks.
I mean,
really
they
cool.
got that and a bunch of other products on their website. You guys can make sure to check out their website, binbok.com. That is BINBOK.com. Also check out the link down below. You can check out that Pro controller we just talked about, the BINBOKPLAY Ultra Pro controller. That link is down below. Make sure to pick it up on Amazon. 2-day shipping. Amazon. Lovely.
Yep.
Thanks, Binbok, for sponsoring today's episode. Drip.
Yes.
Zelda. Can Zelda sponsor the episode one day? Can we get to that point where Zelda sponsor and we get early access like Nintendo Life to play the next Zelda games and Mario games and all the Nintendo games? That would be fantastic, but we don't. We're not there yet.
We're not there. We're not
You know who also is not sponsored by Zelda? That's Dr. Toto. He does make good music though. Hey,
different people.
Yes. No, but for reals, who the heck, Drip? Who the heck is Dr. Toto?
Okay, that's the thing. I don't have his full history right in front of me. I think you have some of it right there. This guy he's not a leaker. That's the thing. This is where this new Zelda game coming this year stuff is coming from. Supposedly, there's a Zelda remake coming in 2023 because this guy said so.
Well, so it is written, so it shall be done, Drip.
No, okay. It's this guy's like an analyst. He looks at like market stuff and says, okay, you know, he puts
Oh, Power Mad. I'm not gonna read that, but you're hilarious. We all know.
Okay, sorry. This guy is an analyst. And listen, he predicted the Switch Pro was coming like 400 times and was just dead set that this is happening, this. Seemed to act like he knew everything. I mean, it never happened.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that he said would happen, and it's all based off of not really insider information in Nintendo or gaming really at all. It's just stuff in the market and the way that things are going with this company and that company that could be working on this part of this thing. That's where he gets all this stuff from. So for me, right now, to see this guy talking about a leak, about a game, which he has done before, and we can go there. I don't know. You're going to have to show me a little more than a couple letters and a couple numbers and a tweet that you deleted right after that.
That's why I'm showing you guys a Reddit post right now. But, oh, excuse me. Man, that was aggressive and sudden. So, guys, for reference, obviously, I'm going to read from this Reddit post here. He had posted in 2021 something similar. I think Drip kind of covered it a little bit, but Breath of the Wild being released, or what was it? Oh, it was for. Oh no, it was Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom. He was. Oh my God! Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, it was Tears of the Kingdom.
I think I breathed in something.
I don't know about this one, man, because it's like he could have known something then, and just they changed the date because they did. Clearly, they said it was coming out 1 year. We did know that. They did say it was coming out what was it, 2022, right?
Yeah, so maybe just
and then in 2022 go ahead.
Before I start to die. In 2021, he had tweeted that something to the effect of Tears of the Kingdom, where they were, or not Tears of the Kingdom, they were going to announce a new Zelda game in 2022. Again, that was a tweet that happened in 2021. If you think about it, then obviously we know that Tears of the Kingdom ended up coming out in 2023, making him seem incredible. But here's my point I want to make, Drip. The point I would like to make is that in 2021, when he made that tweet, we can almost guarantee that Nintendo still had the plan of Tears of the Kingdom coming out in 2022. So he wasn't actually wrong, if you think of it like that.
Okay.
It wasn't until 2022, after the tweet was made, months after, that they decided to push the game a year so they could make sure that everything was top notch because of delays that they were having.
Yes.
So you can make the argument that he actually had credible information.
Yeah. Okay. To your point there, yes, you can. You totally can, because when you think about it and you really we've talked about this and I've talked about this in videos. We've talked about it on this podcast. The people who actually do get these leaks, that know things that are they actually know the things that are happening. Yeah. It's not just some bullshit they're throwing up on Twitter. It's not like when something changes that the person that gave them the information or wherever they got the information from is going to just say, oh, hey, remember how you knew that thing? Well, we changed that now. We wanted to make sure you knew. That's not how this works.
Right.
So to your point, yeah, that is totally what could have happened here. Completely. That makes a lot of sense. Also, this guy said the Switch Pro was coming out for 5 years, man. I don't know. I'm was dead set on it. And I don't know. And there's been some other things too. He's been right about some stuff, and he's not somebody who puts out leaks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like he's somebody who's dropping leaks all the time.
He's not somebody leaking his proverbial pants. You wouldn't say.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not. That was funny.
No offense,
okay.
Dr. Toto.
Okay. We have the story here. Okay. We've got the story. The thing about this is, what do you think? Is this happening or no? What's the probability? Okay. First of all, let's just get this out of here real quick.
Hold on. Can we repeat the tweet? Because we didn't even read the tweet. ZR 2023. That's the tweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've seen people go online now saying that we're getting a new Zelda game in 2023.
That's first of all, that is the stretch of a lifetime. That's cryptic stuff that Zelda, people are taking that as Zelda remake.
Zelda remake.
First of all, if you didn't know, if you haven't heard about Anchor, no. If you haven't heard, it's November 2nd, 2023, okay? For a Zelda game to be dropped in 2023 at this point is a shadow drop. It would have to be a shadow drop. That would blow the internet up. The internet would actually explode. It'd be like Y2K, but in 2023. The world would break if they shadow dropped a Zelda game. Okay, that's point number one. But let's just forget about that for a second. Not besides the fact that Nintendo's never going to do that, and if they did, it'd break the internet. All he said was ZR. That could be so many things. If you didn't know, the Switch, the controller, ZR is the trigger button. That could mean something about the trigger. But it could be. You could take that in many ways.
Here's why they're drawing this. I don't think you saw this. This is why people are drawing this parallel. Okay, because the thing he said about Tears of the Kingdom, the tweet was Z2 2022 or something like that. He did the Z, but it was at the time we didn't know it was called Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
it was just Breath of the Wild 2, so Zelda 2.
Right.
So now he's doing ZR 2023. That's why people are saying
I know, but people also got to remember that they're not in other people's heads as much as you might think you are.
No,
he may not be saying what you might think he's saying.
He's not.
It's not.
He is, but he's wrong. And even if that's the thing. Even if he is saying that and it's right, okay? Let's say this is happening. Yeah. That game is not coming out this year. It may be announced later this month, maybe in December.
Yeah.
As like a little Zelda remake of a game.
He didn't say ZR announcement. He didn't say that. He said ZR.
Dude, we got a game. We got Mario RPG coming out on November 17th.
Yeah, okay? So they're going to shadow drop a Zelda.
Why the hell? Yeah, when you're trying to sell Mario RPG, which is people are pumped about that. Not a huge thing though. Right now, Zelda is as big as it's ever been. You're gonna shadow drop a Zelda game anywhere near that. and completely cannibalize your sales. Why the fuck would anybody do that? It makes no sense.
Now, you can make an argument that it could be December. It could be like December 2nd.
Even if it's
December. Let's look at a calendar, Drip. Let's see. What possible day could they do it in December here? Oh, perfect. December 1st. December 1st is a Friday, 2023. We could see it's possible if they're going to do any shadow drop of the sort, it would be a Friday. So there you go.
But why
1st.
would they do that?
They wouldn't. I don't even want to talk about the shadow. They're not going to shadow drop a Zelda game, and they're most certainly not going to put a Zelda game out in 2023 unless it's a shadow drop. So it's already, this tweet's wrong. Now, I'm more interested. Forget about the time.
Hold on. I want to go back before we move on. I want to talk about something else with that too, because I know there's a whole nother thing where it's like, well, they shadow dropped Metroid and they shadow dropped Pikmin, but Pikmin and Metroid are not Zelda.
No offense, because I'm a fan of both franchises now that they've shadow dropped.
I mean, listen, I love Metroid Prime Remake is one of the best games on the Switch. It looks amazing. It's great. They shadow dropped it. They will not do that with a Zelda game. They will give it proper marketing and make the money that they can make off of a Zelda game. Do you agree?
I do agree. Absolutely. But here's where I not disagree, but I think you're missing a little bit, is that you can still market a game even if it's shadow dropped.
You can, yeah, because the physical and
how many people played Wind Waker HD? At most,
not as many that should have.
No, so like it's not like it's something that a lot of people played before. There's not a ton of people who've played Wind Waker HD, so it's very possible that they treat Wind Waker HD, a GameCube game, or it's probably Princess HD, which are both GameCube games, which have only been the games being shadow dropped these days, if you recall, from Nintendo. It's very possible. I mean, I'm not saying I don't think it's. I keep saying it's possible and it's impossible. I'm being very contradicting.
I just don't think they'll do it.
I don't think they're going to do it. It's still possible. It's still possible they could do it. I just don't. I viscerally don't think it's going to happen.
I mean, honestly, you're right, because let's think about this. Before they did what they did with Metroid Prime Remastered, would you think in a million years Nintendo would ever do that? No,
absolutely not.
No,
that's why I think it's That's why I think it's possible. I really do think it's possible because they've already done it, but with a franchise that wasn't dead, but was Zelda. Certainly not nearly as big as Zelda.
Yeah, it never has been, and that's the thing. Like Zelda was big; it's a big franchise, but it wasn't. No, it wasn't doing Mario numbers at the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I just think they know what they have there, and they were wanting to put one of these games out every year. So next year, it makes sense because we're not gonna get a new Zelda game on the Switch, and we're in remake, remaster land right now anyway with Nintendo. That's what we're doing. So yeah, next year makes sense for us to see. My guess, if you want to get into this part of it, my guess is it's Twilight Princess, it's Wind Waker, it's one of those that are already remastered, already redone in HD that we had on the Wii U. That they just bring over to the Switch,
like literally pick up, recode slightly, which we've known for months.
They don't even have to do that.
We've known for months it's already been ready. We know this game can run on Switch already.
Good God, yeah. Well, and like we talked about this a few times. What it actually takes to just move over a Wii U port.
Yeah,
a small team. It takes like a month. It's not a big deal.
And it has to be done already. It's already done.
Yeah, like that's, yeah. And they've just been strategically like, okay, when are we going to put this out? And we are here. If it's coming to the Switch, we are here. Like the last part of this next year, because that's what we're seeing. It's remakes. It's remasters.
I have already said on the record that if it wasn't coming in the last direct, it's not coming. So I have to stand my ground and say it's never coming still. Excuse me, I'm like wheezing now from those coughs. I don't know what happened to me. Anyway, I've already been on record saying that I don't think the games are coming because they didn't come to the last direct, and I gotta stand by that. I think the games aren't coming. I think for some reason Nintendo has just decided that these games are not coming to Switch, and but I want to play for the sake of the episode. I do want to play the side, because I want it, of course. I want to play the side of let's just pretend like it is coming. Forget about the timeline. I don't really care about the timeline. It's soon, right? His 2023 thing is obviously bogus. It's obviously bogus, but I think it's just soon, right? So do you think that it's, because I already said I don't think it's coming. Do you think it's even coming? Like, do you honest to God think at this point, we pretty much know the Switch 2 is coming out next year. And we know that the game's not, the HD port's not coming this year. It's too soon, right? For the timeline that he gave. Is it possible, man? Is it possible that we're getting this game on the Switch at all?
Yeah. I think, yes, I think it is very possible still. I think it's 100% possible to get these games. We don't even know. We're going to just pretend like this is actually happening, okay?
Yes. Okay.
We don't even know if these are the games.
Right. Now
it
that's
could
where
a remake, it could be remaster. I don't know, but I do want to pop something up on screen here. Power Mad with the $1.99 super chat. Appreciate you. It would take a dual screen to move Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD over. Not necessarily. I see what you're saying with that because it was on a system with the 2 screens. Appreciate the super chat, man.
Yeah,
thank you so
man.
much for that. But no, it wouldn't, because really all you had on those screens were your menus. You could put those menus right back where they go, and hit the plus button. Like, you could put them right back where they go. I mean, it didn't really have any huge effect on the gameplay. You got your map down there, which was nice. I will say it was very nice to play those games on those systems.
Yes,
because of the extra screen.
Right,
it was amazing because you your items are right there. You just literally like move it over to the slots. You don't even have to press pause.
Let me
interject. Real
interject.
time.
Let me interject because I actually, not that I think it was bad. I don't think it was bad. I actually preferred not to do it that way. I still paused because
really?
I get this anxiety. Like, I can't just leave my game running without worrying that a Bokoblin's going to come and knock me in the back of the head. You know what I mean? Like, I have to like maybe out in the sea, possibly in Wind Waker, you could. I was not too worried about, but Twilight Princess, man. Like, I don't know, that game. I was gonna say.
No, I understand.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to get bopped in the back of the head by a Bokoblin.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know.
So I would pause my game, take my time, and really think about what is the strategic thing to do. So basically, what I'm saying is I didn't utilize the gamepad properly. So I don't know. It didn't bother.
Fine.
Didn't bother me.
It's okay.
It doesn't bother me.
All I'm saying is, you don't. It doesn't have to be done that way. You did it the old-fashioned way, which is very easy to do on the Switch. It could totally happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and unless we get that other thing we just talked about, then they just poured it to that. I don't know. Either way, back to kind of what we were talking about. We don't know that those are the games. We don't even know for sure that those are the 2 games. Let's say the ZR just stands for Zelda. I mean, whatever you want to call it, remaster, remake.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot of games. There's a lot of games that aren't.
But there's been a lot of rumors that like companies that work on Zelda ports, Zelda HD remasters, remakes, have been working on those games. There's tons of fairly credible rumors out there that we've got Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons redone from Grezzo, I think, or Tantalus, one of them. I don't know who did it. But then also an original Zelda remake. Those ones, I don't know how much those actually have. I don't know how credible those are. But the other one, the Ocarina of Time remake thing, that's been going around for a long time.
Yeah.
And I mean, we see what people are making with like Unreal Engine and like Ocarina. Could you imagine what could be done with that game? Could you imagine?
I don't have to imagine it. I've seen it. There has been a person. I don't remember their name. I can't give them credit, unfortunately.
Oh man,
they remade it in Unreal Engine, and it's just stunning. It's just absolutely stunning. So no need to imagine it. We've seen it, and they should just hire the freaking guy. I think,
dude,
we talked about this.
I was just about to say that.
We talked about this in the podcast like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
because just hire the freaking guy.
Nintendo won't do that. No, Nintendo will shut him down.
Right.
Nintendo will send him a cease and desist letter. Sega found some guys making a Sonic game, hired them.
And they
Well, Sonic Mania was the
Sonic
game, right?
Mania. Yeah, Sonic Mania. Yep.
They hired the guy. They hired him because he made an awesome Sonic game. They were like, bring that over here. We're going to make that a real game.
Nintendo has
Not
a real
Nintendo.
disconnect with the current gaming culture.
Yeah. They're starting to get a little bit better, but they're terrible.
The Japanese culture is a mystery to me in general, and especially when we're talking about Nintendo and the way that they're doing things right now. And they really the way they always have done.
It's old school Japanese business practices. Is really what
it's very bizarre in this day and age to do that. Just into many like content creation is mainly what I'm talking about, right? Like, this is not that podcast. We won't talk about that here, but that's basically we can make conclusions based off the way they've handled content creation. Nintendo has.
For a long time.
Yeah.
You couldn't even like people who made this is before my time. But for a long time, you couldn't even make Nintendo content and use anything. You could not use your own. They would strike you down if you used your own gameplay of their games.
Right.
That's how bad it was for a long time.
The disconnect to understand that's free advertising and that sells copies. It makes super fans. I have been made a Zelda freaking super fan because of YouTube.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have happened otherwise.
Have.
I was a gamer for my whole life, right?
Yeah.
But I never touched Zelda. And then all it took was YouTube. And now I buy everything.
Everything.
Like how do they not understand that sells stuff? It wasn't their stupid YouTube ads that they put out. It's Joe Schmo. Actually, his name is Chris Starcher. Like, that's who sold Zelda to me. Like, hey, come on, guys.
You know what?
I don't understand.
You're welcome, Geeb, and you're welcome, Nintendo.
Thank you, both of you.
Out here doing the work. I mean, I'm putting Nintendo on my back here. What can I say?
Yeah.
But I mean, back to the point. Yeah, I mean, a game like that, a game like Ocarina of Time, if this is, and again, it's probably not, but if I got to pick any of them, that might be the one.
Yeah.
Just because I know what we've seen other people actually do with it, and damn, that could be so good. That could be so good. I mean,
but what about some other stuff here? What about like 3DS stuff, like the World Between Worlds?
Oh man, I'd love to see a Link Between Worlds. I don't even care, dude. See,
Link Between Worlds? I want a World Between. That's the one I want. The 3DS.
Yeah, Link Between Worlds.
It's a world. It's a Link. You're right.
Link Between Worlds. You're thinking of Super Nintendo, Link to the Past, probably.
Yeah.
They kind of sound similar and are on the same maps.
Yep.
It's fine. I got you. Don't worry. But you know what? Thinking about that, you may be onto something there, because that's the era we're in. Me sitting here talking about a full-on Ocarina of Time remake, like it's one thing to remake Mario RPG. Like, that's cool, super cool.
Mm-hmm.
That is not remaking Ocarina of Time, arguably one of the best Zelda games ever. Like, that's a huge deal. I don't know if that's the end of the Switch life type of thing to do. But you're right. Pulling a Link Between Worlds from the 3DS, putting a little polish on that is definitely an end of the Switch era thing to do for sure.
It's 2D,
we saw them.
It's automatically there's less interest in general. So to bring up the interest and hype the interest, bring it onto the Switch, the most successful Nintendo console ever made. At the end of the life cycle, the end of the life cycle is a little barren.
2D Zelda down the road.
The end of the life cycle is a little bit barren for Nintendo in general. So to put a Zelda game out and one that wasn't initially talked about, but now to get it talking and get it selling is something that's really interesting.
That's it. That's what's happening.
I mean,
never mind. This is totally real, and it's that. We'll see it next summer in June. Podcast over.
Honestly, though, I think if anything, all right, bye guys. No. But if anything's gonna happen, I really do think it would be Wind Waker, specifically, not Twilight Princess. It's when we've already talked about many times in this podcast that Wind Waker is the perfect Zelda Switch game to get ported over before any others. It'd be Wind Waker. It's the right time frame because all this GameCube crap's getting thrown over right now. Why not more GameCube crap?
Thing is huge. Well, technically, Twilight Princess is also GameCube, but
Yeah, right. But again, between Twilight
It's
Princess
more
or
it's
Wind
more
Waker,
Wii era.
yeah, between those two games, which one is more Switch-like? Definitely Wind Waker. It just it's like Skyward Sword was ported, right? Skyward Sword was ported. Wind Waker. It makes sense to put Wind Waker. It's that cartoony art style would translate better.
Well, it's the same thing with
the art style
Tears
holds
of the
up
Kingdom.
way better.
The cell shaded art. So yeah, I mean, that is the one thing. As much as that, I love Twilight Princess, my favorite Zelda game ever.
Yeah.
When it comes to how well they've held up, and even how well the ports were done, the HD ports.
Yeah.
I mean, Wind Waker. Was it probably easier to do with the cell shaded stuff? Yeah, probably. But man, it looks fantastic.
Yes,
on the Wii
does.
U, it looks like you don't need to do anything to that.
And
Just
it's
put it on the Switch as is. It's
and
perfect.
It's only
it looks so good.
720p.
Yeah.
You put it up to 1080. It'll be 1080 on the Switch, at least docked.
Yeah, and it'll run 60.
And handheld,
Easy.
we have the OLED. So it's gonna be get a benefit
and it'll be
from
720 on an OLED running 60 frames per second. That'd be nice.
I mean, Skyward Sword was an amazing upgrade. Let alone what they could do with Wind Waker. I mean, come on.
I agree. I don't know. I think thinking now about it, the 3DS just moving Link Between Worlds over.
Yeah,
that is the move right now. It feels like, doesn't it? Like it's low effort, but still like very cool.
Yeah. Well, Drip, before we end it off here, which game do you want to be remade? We talked about the kind of ones we think most likely and what would be sensible, but what do you think? What's the one that you just want? And chat,
I keep going
those
back.
in the YouTube comments or in the live chat, let us know what game what Zelda game?
Yeah. We'll talk about it in the after
want
show
to be
for sure.
remade?
I keep going back. You know what I'd really like to see? I would really honestly like to see the original Zelda game, the first Zelda game redone. Like completely redone. Like the first one. I would love to see that completely redone.
Link to the what game was that? On Switch. The Zelda game, the 2D Zelda that was remade. Well, the name escapes me right now.
On the Switch? Oh yeah. Like Link.
What is it? It's
what the hell is it?
I don't know. What the I say ships. The egg.
Why do I not know
this? The big
this?
egg.
Link?
The ship. He crashes. I'll tell you the plot of the game. He crashes on the island.
How do we not know the name?
God,
Link?
Somebody help us, please. That
Why
game.
do we not know the name?
That
of that? Yeah.
Anyway, that game. We all know what game we're talking
Link's
about.
Awakening.
Link's
Awakening.
Got it.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but not like that. I don't want that art style.
No, you don't want that
art
style. Okay.
No. We did that. It's cool. That was cool. I don't want that art style though. No, I want a different one. I like that art style. I think it's really cool.
But what about 8-bit? Like, what about just new age, modern HD 8-bit?
I don't want that. No.
But what would you want then?
I don't know. I mean, I'm putting this up on screen.
Yeah, I see that. Thanks, Mega Boy.
I'm not. I don't want that. That's the thing. I don't know what I want. I didn't know I wanted them to make everything look like toys in the Link's Awakening remake, but I did. Once they did it, I was like, "This is amazing. This looks so cool." Didn't know I wanted that. I don't want to. I want them to figure it out for me, G.
That's a fair answer. That's a fair answer.
But I want the original one done. I really want that. I want the original one done.
Yeah.
I think that would be mine. What's yours?
What game do I want? Now, obviously, I've want Wind Waker Twilight Princess. I think if I had first choice, it'd be that.
Yes.
We can't
count that though.
Yeah. Right. So to be fun here with the for sake of conversation, we talked about it already. I really want a Link Between Worlds. That freaking game is in my top 5 Zelda games. I've only played however many 7, 8 Zelda games, but like that is in my top 5.
Yeah. I mean, it's in my top 5.
It is. It's just spectacular. That's
the thing.
I'll retell this story I haven't told in a while.
I lumped those together. Yeah. I think I did it in my top 5 video. I want to make a new top 5 video because my top 5 is different now. But
yeah,
I lumped that one together with A Link to the Past because I don't know. A Link Between Worlds and A Link to the Past, they're different games. I get that. They're on the same map though. They have that same feel. Different, but the same. I always just put those together.
Let me tell this story real fast, Rip, if I may, because I haven't told this story in a while. So when I Hero, community member, friend of ours, Hero of Time, he sold Mrs. Geeb a 3DS XL to gift to me for my birthday. I think it was my birthday. And
The blue one?
The blue one, yeah. And one of my first games that I picked up were Ocarina of Time 3D and A Link Between Worlds. And I had full intention of, when I was looking at the games online, I was like, man, I don't know which one I'm going to like better. I'm going to pick up both, but I really think I'm obviously never played Ocarina of Time before. That one's going to be the one. Everyone says that's the one.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to pick up Link Between Worlds because it's the other Zelda game, and I'm going to pick it up anyway. And I did that. And I what I did was I was like, I'll play Link Between Worlds first because I don't think I'm going to like it that much. So I'm just going to get through it. Then I'm going to build that suspense for Ocarina of Time. And then I did that. And I was caught off guard of how much I like that game. I was like,
That's
holy
good, dude.
hell, this is the game, man, for me. I played through that game twice, and I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't play games once.
I do it with Zelda games, but usually it's years later.
Right.
I played that was
I did
one,
it back to back. Mrs. G played it 3 times. Back to back to back. This is COVID. This is we were locked down. We had nowhere to go.
Well, hey, not to brag, but my second playthrough of that game, you know what counts your deaths?
Yeah.
0.
Here's a fun fact. My first playthrough didn't die once.
Until
the final boss battle, I had died exactly 13 times in a row.
Wow.
I could not beat
the credits
the end
with
of the
0
game, not
deaths,
spoiling it.
my
I
friend.
could not beat that game or beat that boss. Like, I didn't die once the entire playthrough, and I died 13 times. I was gonna rage quit. I looked up, do you do tutorials? I was asking the community. I remember Narchu and Joe and Hari helping me out, like telling me what to do. I was going bananas.
That's a tough boss. That's the one where you have to get in and shoot the arrow around the outside of the. Oh yeah,
I feel like I was fighting a 3DS more than I was anything else because I hate the circle pad, as you all know. I hate the circle pad.
It's uncomfortable. There's no question about it.
But yeah, it's funny for me. I'll just tell this too. It's a quick one. I do that with Zelda games. I do that with games. Like when I purchased Breath of the Wild before I made content on the internet, before I ever played a Zelda game in my life. My first 2 games I picked up on Switch, besides the couple that we got, like Mario Kart, Animal Crossing. That's what Mrs. Jeeb and I wanted. Just the first 2 games. The first 2 games, besides the obvious ones to get. What I got, the Link Between, the Link Awakening remaster, and I picked up Breath of the Wild. And again, never played either one before. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like Breath of the Wild that much. But I'm gonna play that one first because I think I'm gonna really like the remake game. I love the art style. I thought it was cute and everything. Let me boot up Breath of the Wild for the first time. I'll play that one first. The same thing. This was before obviously the 3DS thing. So I made that mistake thinking, I'm gonna play this game first. I don't think I'm gonna like it. I made that mistake twice. And Breath of the Wild obviously I was very wrong. I was like, oh my god, this game is freaking amazing. And then I finished the Breath of the Wild obviously, and then I played the remake. I don't like the remake.
I know you don't like that. I know you don't like that one. I really enjoyed that. I've played that one twice on stream. No, I played it once on stream, but I played it the first time by myself, then played it on stream. See, that's another one I would stream again completely. I have so much fun playing that game. I love that game.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening, so good.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, this is another one too. I wanted to talk about quickly before we wrap this all up. I think one that they could really, and again, I don't think this is the time because of where we're at in the Switch's life. I think A Link Between Worlds makes the most sense. It's probably the easiest, either that or the 2 that are already done in HD. Very easy. But what about Minish Cap? That's one they could do but that's one they could do a lot with.
They could.
They're getting tiny. Like they could really make that look spectacular.
That's a really cool candidate. I mean, let's be honest. All of them should be remade at some point in their life because they're all spectacular, but in their own way. Yeah. But I think that's not right time, not right place, not right time because we already have Minish Cap on Switch. I just don't think it's the right time, right place. But I think that's a game that should get one. Excuse me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Well, guys, in the chat, in the live chat, in the YouTube chat, make sure to leave your comment down below what game you think Nintendo should remake. I'll make a YouTube poll even later on tonight after we're done being live here. Put that up as well. You can vote on that. But make sure to put those comments in. We want to see what games you guys would think would be remade. Those in the live chat, we'll get to those in the after show. We'll talk about those. All your comments in the live chat, we'll get to those and talk about that in the after show, which is right now. Guys, thanks for listening to this episode. And thank you to Binbok for sponsoring this episode. Make sure to check out Binbok's links down below. Pick up that awesome controller. It has a really long name, Drip. What's the name?
I don't remember. It's too long.
But make sure
it's
to
controller though.
make
Links
sure
down
to
below.
support Binbok. They support us. That's really cool of them. And Drip obviously has a good relationship with them. And so we're looking forward to more episodes with Binbok. And we really appreciate you guys checking out this episode. And make sure to stick around for the after show. But for the rest of you guys, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.